Okay, so for those of you that can see me or hear me, this is Christy, Christy Voida. I'm the director here at our office, and I have Beth Urena with me. She's sitting next to me. She's kind of in and out of the camera. She's our clinical educator, and in-person attendance, we have Irene, who works out in the field. You're an LPN, correct, Irene? You're an
Home health aide.
Home health aide. Why did I think you were an LPN? Okay, so Irene's a home health aide for us. She came here to the office, and Jody's in here as well. So if we could start with you guys just letting us know who all is on. I can see Jessica Murray, and I see Erica. And Billy Joe, are you still on there?
Maybe that's Billy Joe.
And then who do I have with the 724-599 number?
Jennifer Murray.
Jennifer Murray. Okay. All right. Anybody else that I'm missing? Somebody with a Samsung phone, maybe?
Karen DeBarto.
Oh, all right. Okay. That's great. Okay. So we're going to get started. And the first thing is, I just want to ask you all, if you're not muted, to mute yourself. That way, we don't hear any background noise. And if you have any questions or thoughts on questions you want to ask while I'm talking, if you want to just put it in the chat box. And then at the end of the meeting, I will answer all of your questions, and any concerns that you have I can address either with the whole group or even privately after, if you would prefer. So first of all, I want to say thank you to those that sent in suggestion cards. We did have 2 suggestion cards that came in. So I'd like to just read them really quickly and talk a little bit about both items. So one was asking us if we would consider a benefit of pay when a client is in the hospital so that hours are not lost. And I do think that that's something that we are going to consider and we're going to talk about here as a group, because we understand that that's a challenge, and that's one of the biggest challenges that we face when we're recruiting and hiring employees is the security part of it. Because in home care, there's not always a lot of security if your client gets sick or goes into the hospital. So I definitely think that that was a good question, and it got our wheels turning, and we are definitely going to think about that a little bit more and figure out a way that we can help out our employees if their client is in the hospital. And then the other question that we had was regarding mandatory in-services, that they be mailed, not just emailed. So we do try to ask everyone their preference. We know the people that don't have email addresses or don't do a lot of things electronically, we do try to send them paper. So,
There's Amelia.
So we do try to send paper. So I think that that's just one of those things. If you have a preference about receiving paper versus electronic, you just need to let us know. And you can share that with any of your fellow employees and let them know that they can always ask us for a paper copy of anything that they need if they don't do things electronically.
Oh, she got it.
Got it? Okay. All right, next item on the list is we want to recognize our second quarter hero. It was LPN Kathy Palos, and Kathy is one of our nurses who's been with us for a few years, and she works with a lot of our clients out in Bedford County. So in particular, she's been working with one client most recently, and that client's aunt nominated her to be our hero because she consistently goes above and beyond to help him and his dad. His dad is raising him as a single father, and they have a lot of challenges to his care. So she has been very instrumental in making sure that her client gets to school and that they get their groceries, and that he, helping his dad with meal preparation and different things like that. So it was really a great story. So we did recognize her as our hero for the second quarter. And then I'm just going to give some general office updates for the ICP office here in Blairsville. One thing for those of you that know our clinical manager, Adrienne Rash, she was pregnant and she had her baby a little bit early on June 20th. She had a baby boy and they named him Elijah William, and they're both doing very well. She was actually already here at the office on Friday to show him off a little bit. He's just a little peanut. So they're doing great, and she's anticipating being back to work here probably in about 2 months. So we're just, she's just enjoying some baby snuggles. So hopefully we'll have some maybe pictures of mom and baby on the Facebook page or in our next newsletter. We also have some new office employees. We hired 3 new clinical managers. Seems like a lot, but we're busy and we're growing. So we have Nicole Leidy, who works in Bedford County. So she's a clinical manager for all of our clients in Bedford County. And then Megan Miller, some of you might know, she was a field nurse for a few years and she became an RN, and now she's transitioning into the office as a clinical manager, and her clients will mostly be in the Johnstown area. And then we hired another clinical manager who just started this past Monday, and her name is Erin Coral, and she will be taking all of our Somerset County clients, not all of them, but she will be working with Brittany and with Monica to oversee most of the clients in Somerset County because that's where she's from and where she lives. So that's exciting. And then we also have a social worker that's going to be starting on Monday, and her name is Chelsea. And, you know, the main goal with hiring a social worker is just to be able to offer an additional resource to our families. So, you know, our families struggle sometimes with, you know, getting equipment or other services in addition to the nursing or home health aid services they receive. So we're really hoping that the social worker can help them, you know, piece some things together and just be able to, you know, get more help or anything that they need that sometimes we have challenges helping them with because it's really just not our area. You know, we're more nursing and handle all things clinical, but there are times when people need more than that, especially when it comes to equipment or resources. So she should be able to help with that. And then we did hire a new recruiting manager back in April. So I just wanted to take a minute to mention her name. It is Stacy Scheib, and she had been doing recruiting for a few years before coming to BAYADA. So she's been out there trying to find us nurses every which way, find us some home health aides. So any friends that you have that you want to refer through the Talent Scout program, please send them to Stacy. And we are going to be kicking off a increased Talent Scout probably in the next 1 to 2 weeks. It's going to be called the Summer Blaze. So you'll get some information probably across your email, and it'll be on our Facebook page about it because it's going to be a pretty hefty amount to increase our Talent Scout bonus. So just look for more details about that. So if you know any friends that you want to send our way, now would be a good time to do that. The employee satisfaction survey kicked off a few weeks ago, and I just wanted to mention that it will close on Monday, July 9th. So if you haven't filled out your employee satisfaction survey yet, please try to do that. We really appreciate the feedback. We're always looking for opportunities to hear from our employees and to make changes based on what our employees tell us. So anything, you know, we'd love to hear the good stuff, but, you know, we also are open to hearing your feedback and things that we can do to improve and do better. But I'm also always here. So if you want to reach out to me via email or call me here at the office, you know, I'm always willing to spend some time talking with you and hearing, you know, what you have to say on how we could do things better or some of the things that you really like that we already do. Most of you on the call or here have probably heard about SwiftShift. So SwiftShift is the application that you can download onto your phone. I don't know if you can get it on a computer or not, if you can pull it up on the computer, but if you haven't downloaded the app, it would be really beneficial to do so. It's a very easy way to see what shifts are open. So we've had a lot of success with a lot of employees looking at the open shifts and applying for open shifts, and it's definitely been very helpful to the schedulers in, you know, trying to get more employees placed with different clients. The only reminder that I wanted to give regarding SwiftShift was that you don't use it to view your schedule. So it is still in pilot mode. We're one of the first offices to be using SwiftShift. So being that it's still in pilot mode, sometimes there's glitches with the system when it comes to viewing your schedule. So it's really just to be used for looking at the open shifts and applying to the open shifts. And you should always go by the schedule that your scheduler gives you and not necessarily by what's in SwiftShift. And if you have any questions, you can always ask any one of us or any one of the schedulers. And just another quick reminder that we offer a reliability bonus after the end of each quarter to those employees that have no call-offs. So I just wanted to mention it since it's the beginning of a new quarter, that if you didn't have any call-offs during the second quarter, you'll be receiving the bonus probably in the next 2 weeks on your pay. And you have to have worked an average of 24 hours per week, and then the bonus is equivalent to a 25-cent raise. And again, we do that every quarter. So if you don't work 24 hours and you're only working 2 shifts a week, it's an opportunity to pick up an extra shift, so then you can qualify for the bonus at the end of those 3 months. And then we also implemented at the beginning of this year an annual incentive with your performance evaluation. So when you receive your performance evaluation in the mail and you send it back in to us, we give a bonus based on how well you performed over the past year. And then we also give you an option of a years of service gift. So there's different choices for, 1 year and beyond. And we let you choose between 2 or 3 items on a list. So just trying to find other ways to, appreciate you guys for all the hard work that you do. Okay, next up is all the events that we have going on. So we try to stay pretty busy every month, trying to do something for our employees, something for our clients. So for those of you that don't know, we offer a support group. We try to do it every month for our clients and their children, or our clients and their parents, I should say, their families. So their whole entire family is welcome to come to any of the support groups. We have nurses and home health aides on staff to help take care of the medically complex kiddos. And then we have other people there to help with all the kids. So it's basically just an opportunity to come and hang out, and we provide food, we provide dinner, and you don't have to have any worries because you can bring all your children, and it's really a nice time. So there's actually one this Saturday. It's here in Blairsville. There's an outdoor pavilion right down the street from the office. And Kelsey, who works here in the office, is going to be doing, it's called Brushes with BAYADA. So all of our families should have received a little postcard that detailed the event. It's basically a painting party. Hi, Willow. It's a painting party. And so if you would just encourage any of your families to attend that day, we would really like to see as many faces as we can. And they're going to be doing, I think, a patriotic painting on a canvas. So we provide all the supplies. We'll have food, drinks, and fun activities for the kids as well. So please just remember, when you're on your shift tomorrow, maybe remind your families to try to come out on Saturday to the event. We planned and scheduled our annual zoo trip for October 13th. So that's another event that we invite all of our employees and all of our clients to. So look for information coming from Jody for the zoo trip, and again, October 13th. And then we also have an annual ice cream social, and that is being held on July 19th. And it's from noon to 7 at Little Sprinkles in Johnstown. It's a little ice cream place. And this will be the 5th year that we've had the ice cream social. So we always do it in the middle of July. And each year we tend to have more and more employees and more families that come out. So please stop by anytime between 12 and 7. We'll give you free ice cream, BAYADA bucks, and we'll have other giveaways too that day. So bring your entire family, and we give everybody an ice cream. So please try to join us that day. And then the last big event that we have coming up is the Remarkable Night, which is on August 25th, and it's at the Sunny Hannah Country Club in Johnstown. It's from 4 to 8, and we really put a lot of thought into a good location. It's really challenging because our service area is so big, and so we felt that even though it's in Johnstown, it's in Westmont, so we felt that for employees who live in Indiana County or even in Somerset or Bedford, it would be the best that we could find to middle ground. So that's where it's up in Westmont, and you should have received an invitation. And if you didn't, or if you hear that anybody didn't receive one, please let one of us know, and we'll make sure to get you one. It's on August 25th from 4 to 8. We're going to provide dinner. We'll have a live band, so that should be fun. And then we're going to recognize all of our former heroes, and we're going to also recognize years of service. So it's free to all of our employees. And then if you would like to bring a guest, we just ask that you pay for the guest, and it's just a discounted price of $25 per guest. But as always, the employees are completely paid for. All right, company updates. So I just wanted to take, an opportunity to give you guys a little bit of a update just company-wide, because I think that sometimes that's you miss part of that because you're, out in the field, and, maybe you don't hear different updates that are going on from the company level. So I wanted to share with somebody's not on mute. I wanted to share with you a couple things. So one thing is that our office, because we provide pediatric services, we fall under the pediatric practice of BAYADA. So there's different practices because, as you all know, BAYADA is a very large company. So we provide adult nursing services. We have offices that only provide home health aid services to the adult population. We do home health, we do habilitation, just a vast array of services that we offer. But our office is only pediatric. So we fall under the pediatric practice, and we actually have a new leader of our pediatric practice, and her name is Melinda Phillips. So if you would happen to see her name anywhere or have any communication from her, you know who she is. She's been with the company for probably at least 20 years. She is from North Carolina, down south in that area. And she actually started her career with BAYADA as a client services manager. So she's got her way up. She worked in a pediatric service office for many years, doing sling and recruiting and all of those things. So she really understands our business. She's had, long relationships with field employees and clients. So she's very down to earth, very hands-on. So even though she kind of has a high position now, she's definitely involved in the day-to-day and how things are going at each office. The other thing that's exciting is that we are transitioning to nonprofit. So historically, for the last 40 some years, BAYADA has been a for-profit agency. However, since Mark, our owner, is retiring, he decided that he wanted to keep the company's mission and vision alive and didn't want it to ever be sold off to some big corporation that wasn't going to care about the clients and the employees. So he basically is gifting his company by making it a nonprofit organization. And his son, David, has taken over as the CEO. And we actually had the opportunity to meet David in person. He traveled out to our office about a year and a half ago and spent some time meeting the team here, and just, a really down to earth guy, much like his dad is, very just open to feedback and just, really wants to keep the mission and vision of our company alive, always putting, the client first, and, taking care of our employees is still going to be fundamentally important to him. So they say we won't feel a change. We're going from for-profit to nonprofit, and they said the way they described it to us is if we didn't know it was happening, we wouldn't know it was happening, because everything is just going to be very seamless and very smooth. So you guys shouldn't have any issues. Again, if you do have any questions that you'd like to ask me, I would be happy to answer them to the best of my ability. But the transition should be fully complete by the end of this year or the first of next year. So it's kind of exciting time in our company. And the last thing, which I think is a fun fact that I always like to hear, and we're told every year by David or Mark, is that our company has no debt. So that's really one thing that's very unique to BAYADA, is that Mark has always just given back. So he does not like to have debt. He pays off all his bills. He doesn't just sit there driving a Porsche or Lamborghini, and he doesn't live in some big house. He takes a taxi cab and flies commercial. He doesn't take any special treatment, I guess I'd say. So he makes sure that we have absolutely no debt. So our company can be around for 100 more years to be able to provide services to our families. So I think that's really interesting. Makes me very proud to work here and be a part of an organization like that. And then lastly is new business. So I thought I would share with you a couple things that we are doing and we're just going to try some different things. And one of the things that we're going to do is our hero program. So our Heroes on the Home Front is where we nominate a field employee every quarter, which is every 3 months. But we thought that it would be nice to recognize someone every month. So now that our office has grown so much and we've gotten so much bigger, there's a lot more employees, and we feel like more than 4 people a year need to be recognized. Sometimes I don't even know if 12 is enough, but we thought it was a start. So we are going to do Employee of the Month. And what we will do is we will, here at the office, we'll select someone the first week of the month, or if any of you want to, recommend someone to us, we would absolutely take recommendations. But we'll select an employee, and then we'll notify that employee, and we'll ask them for some pictures and a little bio, and then we will post their nomination on Facebook and then also in our newsletter. So we're pretty excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a really great way for us, but for all of our employees to get to know each other a little bit better. And then this is something else I think is very exciting. Some people might not be thrilled about it, but we are going to start a Dress for Success campaign. So we definitely struggled the last couple years, and we certainly struggle in the school system and also in the summer months with dress code. And BAYADA does not have a strict dress code policy. We ask that our employees be mindful of, what they wear, but because we go in people's homes, we've never required them to wear scrubs because we want our families to be comfortable. But we found over time, people get comfortable and they start to dress a little sloppy. And I think that when you dress sloppy, sometimes you work sloppy. So we're really going to try to encourage and enforce a little bit more strict dress code. Now, that being said, we're going to offer the employees a stipend every quarter, every 3 months, for scrubs and for BAYADA logoed items. So I'm not saying that people have to wear scrub tops because, again, some of our families aren't comfortable with somebody in full scrubs. But I would just ask that we try to wear scrub pants, black professional pants, no sweatpants, no jeans, no yoga pants, no leggings, and with a nice either BAYADA t-shirt, BAYADA polo shirt, BAYADA scrub top, or even just a nice t-shirt with whether it's a scrub jacket or a little cardigan or even a little zip-up hoodie, something that looks nice and professional. And yeah, just plain. Okay, so we're going to have more information coming. I'd like to start this at the beginning of August. So we're hopeful that the Ice Cream Social in July, we can have some scrub items and some clothing items to give away to our employees. And then we're going to look for different opportunities to vendors for scrubs into the office. So everybody can come in here. We can have shopping day. And like I said, again, we'll be giving you guys an increased stipend every quarter to be able to purchase those items. So you can not just play the part, but you can look the part too. And then 2 last things that I think are important that I want to mention is that Jody did send an email this morning that the on-call numbers have changed. So we used to have one cell phone that all of our hours calls were rolled to, but now we're actually going to have 2 different phones. So for those of you that know Holly and Ken, they are 2 of the client service managers or schedulers that take on call each and every week. They take turns one week after the other. And so they're each going to have their own cell phone that they will use to contact employees throughout the day during business hours, but then that's what they will also use when they're on call. So try to just call the BAYADA office number, the 724-459-0000 number, to get directed to them versus, trying to go to them directly through that cell phone. Because if you're trying to text that original cell phone, that is the one that Holly has. So like, for example, this week Kevin is on call. So if you text that phone, we might not receive those messages until the next business day. So I think, again, if you have questions about it, please let us know. But Jody did send an email out this morning letting everyone know. And lastly, just a general reminder to please return phone calls, texts, and emails, including those ones that come after hours. So I know that, oftentimes, whether it's the client services managers or clinical managers throughout the day need in touch with our employees or ask them about a schedule change or maybe pick up a shift or change a shift, and same thing after hours. And oftentimes, we just do not get phone calls back. And here's the thing. It's okay to say no. I know a lot of people feel bad saying no because you want to help everyone and you feel bad if they ask you to pick up a shift and you say no. But know that it's okay. We don't expect you to pick up every shift. We just would like you just to say, hey, no, I'm not able to do that. And then we can move on to the next person. And we're not spinning our wheels for one person to call us back. So whether, you miss a phone call, you can shoot a text back or even an email and say, hey, I got your call. I'm not going to be able to help you out this time. I'm really sorry, but, reach out to me next time. So those are just a couple of things that, we've noticed recently that have really gotten out of hand with being able to hear back from people when we give them a call. So that is all that I have. This was our first one, so I apologize for technical difficulties and for having a laundry list of things to talk about. And time that we have one of these meetings, we'll kind of change up, how we're doing things, change up the format. We're open to your feedback on how it went today and what you'd like to hear more about and on future calls. Does anybody have any questions? There's nothing in the chat box, so none of you wrote anything, but if you'd like to, now is the time, if you want to raise your hand.
Or mute yourself and say something.
Yeah, or if you just remember, if you're muted, unmute yourself. Okay, well, we did record this, so blessed be the people that have